Struggle towards freedom. Hello students and viewers, how are you all? This is your Arindam sir and you are watching Revision Learning. I hope every one of you is fine and safe in your home. Today we are going to discuss about India's struggle towards its freedom. This chapter is your chapter number 5 from your Enjoy and Learn Term 2 book for the class 5 students. Now let's go in details and let's see our struggle towards our freedom. India, the most wealthiest land in the ancient times, and hence it was called Sone ki Chidiya, or the land of golden bird, in the 17th century. During that time the trade was done in exchange of gold wins and gold bars. India was a major exporter of textiles, spices, pearls, sugar and iron, weapons. The amount of money that India was making was unimaginable. But now we all know that India is no more that Sone ki Chidiya or the golden bird because of a very simple fact that we were too lucky in terms of resources but highly unlucky in case of saving our nation. As because almost every country invaded us to rule us, but while we were getting battered and bruised and were fighting amongst each other, the resources slowly and steadily got diminished. At first it was the Arab, then Portuguese, the Dutch people, the French people and finally British. There were fights among these powers for control over Indian products and markets, and lastly the British were victorious. The British formed the East India Company in 1600 and started to rule over India. India had an farming-based economy, and the British or the England was a developed country with factories and industries. And they needed raw materials and markets to sell off the finished products. They used to buy goods from India at a very cheap rate and sell them abroad at a high rate. The company understood that the only way to control India is by ruling over the Indian farmers. So the British East India Company exploited our poor farmers. They were forced to grow crops according to their wish, according to the wish of the company. The company used to beat the farmers and exploited them a lot. The Indian handloom industries also suffered a lot for the British. It was because the cloth manufactured in England was very cheap and the Indian handmade cloth was very expensive. But the company used to purchase those products at a very low price. The company also made so many unlawful rules and imposed them onto the Indian kings and the Nawabs. They even captured many kingdoms and lands of many kings and zamindars. The British were able to control India mainly because India was not united. The British took full control of India through many unfair policies which gradually angered the Indians. Unable to withstand the atrocities of the British, Indians gradually started to protest. They started many revolts and revolutions, and the largest rebellion against the British rule was the Revolt of 1857. It was also known as the Sepoy Mutiny or the First War of Independence. The revolt began with a rebellion by the Indian sepoys serving in the army of the British East India Company. During that time, the sepoys were given the Lee Enfield rifle. In order to load the rifle, the soldiers had to bite off the ends of the greased cartridges. It was believed that the grease was made out of the fats of cows and pigs. This was objectionable to the Hindus and the Muslims alike. The soldiers refused to use these rifles. This thing poked up the fire of discontent among the soldiers and they started to kill the British officers. In Barakpur, Kolkata, a soldier named Mangal Pandey on March 29, 1857 killed a senior British officer while he was on a parade and started the revolt. When Mangal Pandey was hanged on 8th April, the revolt got more fire. This incident triggered further action of the revolt. The revolt started in Meerut and got spread towards Delhi. That time the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar II was asked to lead the revolt, and he was also the commander-in-chief of the revolt. The revolt spread to the other parts of the India too. Some of the popular leaders who led the revolt at different places were Tantia Top and Nana Saheb at Kanpur, Rani Lakshmibai at Jhansi, and Begum Hazrat Mahal at Awadh. But at the same time, many Indians stayed away from the revolt and many even supported the British army. The most significant result of the uprising of 1857 was the end of the rule of the British East India Company and the assumption of the government of India directly by the Crown of England. The Indian rulers were allowed to rule their kingdoms but were controlled by the English after the revolt. Though the revolt failed as because of weak leadership, lack of unity, a not planned or improper and disorganized rebellion, you can say, but the revolt made Indians realize that if they unite, they could oust the British from the Indian soil. During the revolt, many social and religious reformers means a person or persons who makes changes to something in order to improve it. So many social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Dayanand Saraswati and Syed Ahmad Khan, they tried to stop some of the evil practices of the society like the caste system, killing of female babies and infants, child marriage and Satidaha Pratha, where the widow after her husband's death was compelled either to was buried alive or burnt alive. She was compelled to do so. The social reformers like the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and Syed Ahmad Khan, they preached to the people against these evil practices and also encouraged widow remarriage and female education. When the Indians realized the injustice and the atrocities of the British government, they formed a united society with some educated Indians. This was the beginning of the formation of the Indian National Congress in the year 1885. Indian National Congress was a group of educated Indians. It is interesting to know that it started by an Englishman. Yes, the Englishman named Alan Octavian Hume, he supported the Indians and he started this Indian National Congress, the first in the year 1885, and the first meeting of the Indian National Congress was held at Bombay, now Mumbai. It was attended by 72 delegates from all over the India, and from a man from Kolkata named W.C. Banerjee was the first president of the Indian National Congress. Alan Octavian Hume remained as the General Secretary. Thereafter, the Indian National Congress had yearly meets in different parts of India under the leadership of Gopal Krishna Gokhale and Surendranath Banerjee. The party became more popular and more stronger gradually. It awakened the feeling of love for one's nation in the minds of the common people. But the British government introduced strict laws to suppress the feeling of nationalism among the Indians. The government slowly sowed the seeds of hatred between the Hindus and the Muslims by using the policy of divide and rule. But the British failed. Indians got united with the passage of time, and finally our freedom fighters helped India to get its freedom on the 15th August 1947, as this day we celebrate our Independence Day. So students, I hope that you have understood India's struggle towards freedom. If you have liked my explanation, then you just like this video, share it to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe Revision Learning and press the bell icon so that you never miss any of our videos and updates. And only And soon I will make a new video, or you can say detailed video with for the revolt of 1857, taking this topic in consideration. Soon I will make a detailed video. I'll share it here in the YouTube, so you just stay tuned and don't miss any of our videos, so that if I make that video, you don't miss that one. Okay students, so keep learning, because your education is our care, and take care. Thank you.